Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tackling a question that I think pretty much everyone of faith has wondered about. We're going to dive into a whole range of Hindu scriptures to try and understand the connection between an all-powerful God and the fate of the people who worship. And here's the question, right? If God is all-powerful, shouldn't devoted followers be safe from harm? It's a deeply personal question. You have this ideal of a loving, protective deity, but then you look at the real world and you see that even the most deeply faithful people still face incredible hardship. So how do the scriptures square that circle?
Well, to get to the bottom of this, we've got to start with what the texts themselves actually promise. And they lay down a really strong foundation of divine support. We can start right in the Bhagavad Gita, where Lord Krishna makes this really profound promise. He says, look, it doesn't matter what divine form you're drawn to. If you worship with faith, I will personally step in and make that faith of yours unshakable. That's a huge assurance of reinforcement, a promise to back up your spiritual journey from the very start.
But okay, as soon as you hear that promise, you immediately run into a pretty big paradox. Because when you look at the great epic stories from these same traditions, you realize that suffering, well, it isn't just for people who lack faith. Far from it. The classic example is the Pandava brothers in the Mahabharata. They were incredibly devoted to Lord Krishna, and yet their lives were just one tragedy after another. They were cheated out of their kingdom, forced into exile for 13 years, and then had to fight a brutal, catastrophic war against their own family. It forces you to ask, if they were so devoted, where was the protection? This apparent contradiction, that's actually our biggest clue. It suggests that maybe our modern idea of protection, just being safe from physical harm or worldly problems, that might not be what the scriptures are really talking about at all. It seems like they're pointing towards something much, much deeper. And the first piece of that deeper meaning is Dharma. Think of Dharma as the cosmic blueprint, the moral order of the entire universe. The scriptures tell us that one of the main jobs of the divine is to uphold this universal law. And sometimes preserving that cosmic balance might just be more important than the immediate comfort of one person, even a very devoted one. The Pandavas' war, for instance, was seen as this painful but necessary act to restore Dharma.
But there's another equally powerful force at play here, and it's woven right into the fabric of Dharma. And that, of course, is the law of karma.
Karma is really the ultimate law of accountability. It means that what's happening to us right now, the good stuff and the bad stuff, it's all a result of actions we've taken in the past, maybe even in past lives. The divine, in its wisdom, doesn't just step in and erase those consequences. It respects this cosmic law of cause and effect. So a devotee's suffering might not be a sign that they've been abandoned. It could just be their own karmic path unfolding. This brings us to a really key distinction. We're talking about two totally different kinds of protection. First, you have physical protection. Its focus is on the body, wealth, comfort. Its whole goal is to avoid pain in this life. But the scriptures point to a second kind, spiritual protection. Here, the focus is the soul. The goal isn't to avoid suffering, but to transcend it. And the timeline? It's not just this life, it's eternal. And this is really where we get to the heart of it. The ultimate promise of protection in these scriptures isn't about dodging all of life's problems. It's about being given a shield so strong that those problems can't even touch your soul. Just listen to this incredible line from the Linga Purana. When he's confronted by death itself, Lord Shiva makes this absolutely stunning declaration. I am the death of death itself. Wow. To really understand what that means, we need to know the story of the devotee at the center of all this, a sage named Shwet Muni. So picture this. Shwet Muni is deep in meditation when Kal, the personification of time and death, arrives to claim his life. His time is up, but his devotion is so absolute, so complete, that Lord Shiva himself appears. And he doesn't just tell death to try again later. He gives the sage the ultimate victory with that one declaration. This wasn't protection from death. This was transcendence over it. So, this is the crucial point. This is the ultimate form of divine protection, moksha. It's the complete liberation of the soul from that endless cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, the cycle that's the source of all suffering in the first place.
It's not about making this one life perfect. It's about graduating from the whole system of worldly suffering for good.
Okay, so let's just do a quick recap of the journey we've been on. We started with a divine promise to support our faith. Then we saw that this doesn't stop suffering from happening because that suffering might be needed to uphold cosmic Dharma, or it could be the result of our own karma. This led us to see that the true protection is spiritual, not physical, and that the ultimate shield is moksha, total freedom from the whole cycle of suffering.
And all of this leaves us with one last really powerful idea to think about. Maybe the greatest divine gift isn't a life that's free of challenges. Maybe the real gift is the strength to find meaning inside of those challenges, the inner wisdom and the unshakable faith to navigate life's storms, and, in the end, rise above them completely.